Hi, welcome to Crafty Little Things. I'm Andrea and I'm doing an unboxing today of my Stampin' Up order. Now I've got two Stampin' Up orders and I'm not sure which one this is, so I'm just going to open it and see. But another thing I've got is the new catalogue, which people can start ordering from I think it's the 3rd of January. I can only show you the cover. We're not allowed to show the inside of it yet. We can show products from it, and products made using it, the products from it, but we can't show the inside. So that's the cover, and that's also on my blog and wherever. You can go and click on it and get a downloadable copy from midnight on the 2nd of January. Okay, I've got a guest to me today. In fact, I've got a few guests to me today. I've got my daughter here. She's sat opposite me, absolutely full of cold, but she wanted to just be around while I'm videoing. I've got the dogs scrabbling around under the desk, and we've got the puppies. We might have a little bit of a puppy visit at some point. We might not though, they're probably asleep. Right, so I'm unboxing. Oh, I know which one this is. I was going to leave Stampin' Up, and so I wanted to quickly do... and I'll explain why I didn't and why I was going to and everything in another video, but I wanted to just stock up on a few bits before I did, but then I changed my mind. So that's this order, and then I've got another order coming, so there'll be 2 of these pretty quickly. So first of all, staples, things that you need, trimmer blades. Now you might have seen recently that I bought a new trimmer, which was a guillotine type Tim Holtz one. Because I was fed up with my blades on my Stampin' Up trimmer. Just, you know, after a few goes, they were just chewing my paper up. They were leaving fuzzy edges. They needed to be replaced. I mean, one project we did, in fact, when my daughter was here last time, we did a memory book and we did a memory book, and before we'd even finished doing. We put a brand new blade in, and before we'd finished doing just the cardstock for the cover and everything, we had to put another one in to do the inserts on the inside. So the amount of cuts we got was very poor, really, and that made me buy the Tim Holtz one. But I still love my Stampin' Up trimmer, so I do sort of use that as my go-to, probably more often than not. So. Yeah, if I'm doing bulk projects or lots of small cutting, then I do use the Tim Holtz one, but the Stampin' Up trimmer is still my favourite trimmer. It's just these blades. But I have heard from somebody that if you put in a piece of normal printer paper underneath the cardstock or the DSP that you're cutting, you get a better cut, and that's after your blade starts to go a bit get a bit weaker. And at first I thought, how can that happen? Or a bit less sharp, should I say. I thought, how can that happen? And then when I thought about it, if you look at the blade in one of these cartridges, it's like a V shape. And I thought, well, yeah, because that makes sense, because if you're making the paper effectively thicker by rising it just a millimetre, you're going to be using a different part of the blade. So if you've got a triangular shaped blade and you're cutting down here, this is going to get blunt, but these sides are still going to be really sharp. So if you raise your paper a little bit, you're going to use a different part of the blade to cut your paper, I think. Does that sound right to you, Nana, scientifically thinking?
Yeah, it makes sense. It might change the precision of your cut, because it might alter where it's come into contact as opposed to where it's designed to come into contact. I definitely try it out off project before you tried it out with a project.
Yeah, but I am going to try that, and I have got a blade in at the minute that's already starting to cut fuzzy, so I'm going to try it, and I will actually film myself doing it and show you if it does make a difference. So yeah, anyway, the trimmer blades, which are an essential thing. Another essential thing for me is Tombow. Liquid glue. I do like to keep plenty of this in stock, because I use plenty of it, and I used to think, why does everybody use that? You've probably seen me hold different types of adhesive and stuff, but this is still my favourite. It's just, it just is, and you can look around, but if you're a demonstrator especially, you're not going to get this cheaper anywhere else. I mean, I've tried, believe me, because it's not a Stampin' Up branded product. So I have looked around, and you really will be hard pushed to get it cheaper. And I'm sure there are unethical people out there who take the empties and fill them up and resell them as the original product. So always make sure that they've got this security seal on when you buy any, especially if you're buying from less than reputable sources. Okay, so yeah, so I do absolutely love this, and like I said, I think it's £3.75 in the catalogue, and then obviously with the demonstrator discount of either 20 or 25% or more, whichever level you're on, you'll be hard pushed to find it cheaper. Obviously, if you're going to be just ordering glue and paying P&P, it's not going to be it's going to be more expensive than buying it off Amazon or something. But you wouldn't normally do that. You put it in with an order. Most people, most demonstrators I know anyway, they chuck a couple in with every order they make. Right, then the next things I got were some bits off the clearance rack. Now, you know, probably if you do follow my channel, you probably know that I do normally do my clearance rack hauls separate to current stuff. And usually the reason for that is that I'm the unluckiest person in the world. So I'll make an order and then the next day the clearance rack will update. So I do normally keep that separate, and I like to use that to show how you can get Stampin' Up stuff at a lower cost, because people do complain about the cost of Stampin' Up products, or comment on the cost of Stampin' Up products and how a lot of them can be higher than similar products elsewhere. I argue that the quality and the coordination of Stampin' Up products makes it worth that little bit extra in most cases. I do think that some price hikes recently were a little bit excessive on some products, but that's my opinion, and I still buy them, so that tells you something. Yeah, so I have got a mixture of stuff this time, so I can't do that, you know, what I got on the clearance rack sort of thing. But yeah, I got these sequins. These are Tutti Frutti adhesive backed sequins, and these were just, you know, really, really inexpensive, and they come in, I think they're 3 colours, but I thought they'd be great for springtime projects. I also went overboard because there was lots of ribbons on the clearance rack. Now I'm hoping that I've remembered rightly, because I placed this order a long time ago. I think it was the 14th of December, something like that, 14th, 15th. And of course, because I'm the unluckiest person in the world, as soon as I placed my order, there was like 2 days closed for stock clearance, then they were open for a day, then it was a weekend, and then it was Christmas closed for 2 days and for 3 days, and so it's a long time since I ordered, so I can't remember which was actually on the clearance and which weren't, but anyway, I'll try to remember. Now I think there was loads of ribbons on clearance, and I'm not surprised because the 2017 catalogue had tons, annual catalogue, had 51 different ribbons. And that, I think that was just ribbons alone. That was without baker's twine and trims. And then obviously you had the 2 supplementary catalogues. So there was tons of ribbon, you know, that retired in 2018. So there's loads on the clearance rack, and it was super cheap, really cheap. And again, I know you can get ribbon, you can probably get ribbon cheaper elsewhere, but you can guarantee with Stampin' Up that these colours are going to match your cardstock, your ink, your DSPs, and all the other embellishments that you might have. So this was Berry Burst, and they're quite generous spools as well. I think it was like a couple of quid these were. This is a Berry Burst ribbon, and it's a finely woven. Oh yeah, this absolutely, I absolutely love this ribbon. And when I saw it was on clearance, I nearly, well, I flipped my lid. It's gorgeous. Really lovely ribbon. Then I got this one, which is the crushed curry, I think, and it's a mini chevron ribbon. And they're quite generous. I think they have 9.1 metres usually, unless it's a double pack or unless it's a special offer pack. They usually have 9.1 metres on, which is quite good. And they're great for sharing as well. So if you've got a crafty friend and you want to gift them stuff, or you want to split the cost of something, then that's fine. If you do want to do a ribbon share or anything at any point, do get in touch with me, because I can kind of arrange that, and we can, you know, reduce the cost and get more of a product, if you like, a range of products for a lower cost. This Blushing Bride, the gorgeous double stitched ribbon, absolutely loved that. Again, that was just a couple of pounds. I can't remember exactly how much these were, and some of them are still available on the clearance rack now. This one again is a finely woven one. This is a powder pink, absolutely gorgeous ribbon. And it's coming up to Valentine's Day and wedding season, so pinks and girly colours and stuff, soft romantic colours and stuff are going to be well used. And of course, your ribbons aren't just for your paper crafting. You can use them on other craft projects, like I crochet, so I can use ribbons on that. You can use them just for gift wrapping or anything, so they come in really handy. This is another finely woven. This is Tranquil Tide. So these, you can see, are obviously in the 2017-19 in colours, so those colours will be retiring this year. And there's the Lemon Lime Twist in the same one. Another thing I got, I think this was off clearance. I'm not, because I don't have a massive sales focus, I'm not the best person at being like bang up to date with everything that's going on in the catalogue. So sometimes I'm not sure whether it's current or not. And I don't just use current products anyway, and anyone will say, oh my goodness, they're gorgeous, I've never seen these in real life. Yeah, and anyone will tell you I'm not the I don't only use current stuff anyway, because some people say that one of the things people complain about, again, Stampin' Up, is that you have to only use current products, so anything you've got that isn't current is no use to you and it's a waste of money or whatever. Well, I don't agree with that, because if you're demonstrating to your customers, it's nice to show how current product can be used with existing product. And if you really know your customers, this is the benefit of having a few customers, then you'll know the products they've bought, and you can think, well, I know she's got this in her stash, so, you know, this is going to appeal to her. Or, you know, like, your customers, something was particularly popular with your customers, and you can show how to use retired stuff with new product. Again, a way to save money and save wastage. So there, those little embellishments there, they're absolutely beautiful. I've never seen them in real life. They're definitely were on the clearance rack. And again, what some demonstrators do is they buy stuff when it's on clearance and they use them as customer gifts and swaps and things like that. I got this Stampin' Blend. See, it's that long ago, I can't even remember what I bought or why. Or what I had in mind when I was ordering. But anyway, I think this is in powder pink. I can't even see. Yeah, can you have a look? It might be on the packaging or something.
I feel like your viewers are going to be like, why is your daughter's voice so deep?
Oh, she's absolutely full of cold.
Does your daughter always?
She woke up this morning. My son said he thought she was going to be ill, because we had like Christmas Day yesterday, which was really late. Because it was like the 30th of December. But my daughter couldn't get home until the 28th of December, because she lives and works away. Oh, she's enjoying the blends. And my sister had a heart attack just before Christmas, so she didn't get home from hospital until I think she got home on the 29th. So we finally got to do Christmas a proper full Christmas day yesterday, which was really good. In fact, I'd actually recommend it. It was far less stressful than doing it on the 25th, and everything was so much cheaper.
If you forget anything, we're still open.
People
it's
got
like Pink Pirouette.
Pink Pirouette. Oh, right, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I definitely recommend doing Christmas on the 30th of December because the kids went out in the morning and they got loads of they got loads of presents at reduced prices, so people got more gifts. The Christmas foods and stuff like that were all on offer and sales and stuff like that, so actually making a massive dinner was much less stressful. I got grocery delivery in the morning with no problem. I booked it the night before and everything came fresh in the morning. So yeah, I definitely recommend Christmas Day on the 30th of December. Much more fun. Yeah, so Stampin' Blends, these are fantastic. As you just heard my daughter oohing as she used them. And this is Pink Pirouette. I didn't have this one and I thought I'd grab it because the pink always comes in handy, even though it is a retired colour. Then of course it's Saleabration, isn't it? Well, not only is it Saleabration, no, hang on a minute, I'm going to do cardstock next. So then I got cardstock, so I got black. Anyone who knows me knows that I moan constantly about Stampin' Up retiring 12 by 12 black cardstock. I thought that was a really, I mean, they've obviously done it, they know what they're doing, and they obviously know that it's not a great seller and it's not worth keeping on in stock, or maybe it's too expensive to source. Yep.
Is retirement on Stampin' Up a forever thing, or do they retire things seasonally?
They can retire things. They usually retire things and that's it. But they can bring something back. So obviously, if they have what they have on Stampin' Up is I don't think anyone watching this will mind if I answer this question. What they do is obviously, like any business, they have stocks and they source products. And I mean, I suppose sourcing paper as this quality is quite difficult as it is, and probably quite pricey as it is, and especially in this strict colour range as well, where everything must be, you know, you can buy this colour paper, this is Fresh Fig, you can buy this now, you can buy it in 8 months time, you can put it with stuff you bought a year ago and it'll match perfectly. So I suppose sourcing and stuff is quite expensive, and that's probably why I pay a bit of a premium for it. And especially, and paper, remember, shipping your paper is quite expensive because it's very heavy. Yeah, so then they'll obviously look, and they change the colour. The colours have just had a revamp. There's a core collection of colours, and then there's 10 in colours, which run for 2 years. That's 5 of each in colours, which run for 2 years. So you've got 2017 to 19 in colours, which are obviously going to stop this year. Got 5 of those colours, and that's the colours in these ribbons. And then you've got 2018 to 20. So every year there'll be 5 colours go and 5 colours come. And so that happens every year. So you're getting like 5 new colours all the time. But last year they did a whole colour revamp. So they took out colours from the core range and replaced them with more modern shade variations of those colours. So like, for instance, you had 2 purples. You had one called Perfect Plum, one called Wisteria Wonder. Wisteria Wonder was like a lilac-y pale purple. Perfect Plum was a rich deep purple. They withdrew those 2 and they changed them to Glorious Grape and Highland Heather, which were similar colours but a little bit more poppy, a little bit more bright. So everything in the Perfect Plum and Wisteria Wonder retired. So all the cardstock, any DSP with it in. DSP changes every year anyway. They just changed a whole lot with the annual catalogue. But what they did do was bring back colours. So when they did the colour revamp, they brought back colours like a colour called Mint Macaron, which is like a lovely pale green. they restored that colour. So like me, for instance, I already had mint macron ink pad. I even had some of the cardstock. So when they brought the new colour back, it matched exactly. So even though it hadn't been on sale for a couple of years, yeah, that shade's right. So yeah. So they do revamp and change colours, and obviously they've got a thing called Sandbox where I'm not sure if customers can put stuff in Sandbox, but demonstrators definitely can. And you just sort of submit, it's done through SurveyMonkey, and you just submit any ideas or suggestions you've got. So people can go on and say, where's the 12 by 12 basic black? You know, I need it in my life. And I certainly have done that. But if they're looking and thinking, no, you know, people aren't buying it, so it's not a popular item. There used to be 12 by 12s in every colour. And then they've obviously decided some colours just, maybe, I don't know, for example, maybe they're thinking people aren't buying lots of dark brown 12 by 12.
It's an odd size to store conventionally as well, 12 by 12.
Yeah.
So if you're like not an avid crafter but you're getting into it, your storage systems won't be designed for 12 by 12.
Yeah, and the other thing is with 12 by 12 is mainly, I'd say that it gets used mostly when people are doing bulk making, because you can get a lot. I mean, like you can get a 3 by 3 cards, you can get 8 out of one sheet of 12 by 12.
Doesn't sound right.
6, yeah, 4 down, 2 across, 8, yeah. So you can get 8 out of 12 by 12. So if you're making like little notelets and stuff, it's really handy. The other thing is if you're making 3D projects, if you do box making, big bags and stuff like that, it just makes it easier. I mean, I've managed with A4 because you just have to be a bit more creative about how you shape. But yeah, so they could bring it back. They could bring it back in the next annual catalogue, or they could bring it back just as a seasonal thing. Like you say, maybe next autumn, winter, they might bring it back for Halloween or something, because they might have seen a lot of people were trying to buy 12 by 12 at Halloween because they were making lots of black projects, and they might think, oh, maybe we need to bring that back. So, you know, it depends. So obviously they're like any other business, you know, you're obviously a business graduate yourself, so you understand that, you know, you don't want to keep tons of stuff on stock.
Yeah.
And you're going to be looking at what's popular and withdrawing items that aren't popular. So one can only assume that 12 by 12 either wasn't popular, or sourcing it was too expensive to be able to offer it at a price that customers wanted to pay, or maybe, you know, and also, you know, about suppliers are one of your threats in business, because your supplier can suddenly just hike a price and that's not something you want to pass on to your customer. So there's lots of reasons why that could have happened, but of course I want 12 by 12, so I don't care. I'm the customer and I just want what I want. So yeah, so basic black, there you go. That was a bit of a, it's quite nice having a little bit of a Q&A about how it all works. So yeah, then I've bought the In Colour Stack 2017-19, because I've got, the reason I bought this was because I haven't got much of these colours left, but also because I've got lots of embellishments and stuff that I want to use up, so I needed the cardstock to go with it. And then I got this pack of the New Colour assortment. Now I like assortment packs. You can buy all of the colours as a single pack, or you can buy assortments, and now they have things like, there's an assortment of the new colours, you can buy an In Colour pack, and then you can buy packs that goes with a specific designer series paper as well. So if a pack of designer series paper has got 3 predominant colours running through the theme, they'll sell a pack of cardstock with those 3 colours in it. And so you're not buying like a whole pack of one colour that you might not use a lot of, and you're getting better value for your money. So even though, like we said, it can be an expensive product, there are ways of getting better value for your money. Whisper White, I moan about how much it costs, but I'm not going to stop buying it because I love it. These are the returning colours. You know, I told you these were the returning colours, and so they and so they sold, that's called Rich Raspberry, that colour. And so what they did was really, this was a really nice move, I think, in terms of showing that they were thinking of the customer, is that when they brought the returning colours in, they sold the cardstock in a pack, 2 sheets each. There's 12 sheets in total of the 6 returning colours, so you didn't have to go out and buy tons to just get them in your collection. You didn't have to go out and buy a whole pack of each colour, so that's really useful. And even me as a demonstrator, that saves me money, because it means I can demonstrate these colours without having to lay out tons of money. And again, one of the things people complain about with Stampin' Up, and a lot of demonstrators who drop complain about, is the cost of the product. Well, you don't have to go out and buy 6 packs of each of these 6 colours. You can just buy this, and then you've got that in your stash. Use it carefully and you're fine. Very Vanilla, which is our off-white, creamy shade. That's another essential. Another essential for me is Stampin' Dimensionals. Now again, you can pick up packs of these adhesive sort of pads for £1, for about 5 or 6 sheets of them. But I really like Dimensionals. They're really super sticky, they're easy to use, easy to peel, and the shape of them means they're hexagonal in shape, so you can get them right into corners of things. And then the edging, even the edging strip, you can use as well. So they're fully usable, there's no waste at all with those. And then we're into other stuff. Let me just dig. Then I got, what is this? Oh, right, then I got this paper stack. Let me just move these out of the way a little bit. Oops, just went flying off the tape. I got this paper stack because I love this one, and again, this was definitely on clearance. Now when they do the clearance rack, there's lots of different offers and ways of getting more for your money with Stampin' Up, but they do the clearance rack, and it's usually massive reductions, like up to sort of 60%. And this paper pack is a speciality one because it's foiled. So it would normally have been probably £13, something like that, for the pack. But it was on clearance for, I think it was about £4. It was 3 or 4 quid. And so it's, but when papers are on the clearance rack, they tend to go very fast. So you really have to be on the ball. And they don't normally announce that they're going to update the clearance rack. It normally just happens. So I was lucky that I got in and grabbed some before it was too late. I mean, it might still be available, it depends, because there's so much been going on at the minute with Stampin' Up. So there's a retirement, there's like a end of season sale, if you like, from the autumn winter catalogue. There's Saleabration coming up on the 3rd of January. There's the new catalogue that comes out on the 3rd of January, so people might not be spending so much on the clearance rack. But this is double-sided. It's really good quality. It's more like a cardstock, and it's just a really pretty paper stack to have, and for a couple of quid you can't go wrong. So I got that one, and then I got this one, and I don't even know if this is a new product or not. Foil designer acetate. I don't know. I can't remember. Gosh, it's gorgeous. I think this might have been. No, I don't know now. But I'll tell you what, it's lovely. I think this might have been on clearance, you know. It's gold on one side and silver on the other. I think this might have been in clearance. And it's really lovely. I'll put a little caption on here saying where it was definitely from. I just can't remember. And how much it was and if it's still available. Right, but it's Saleabration time. So as a demonstrator, you usually get access to things a little bit earlier than customers because obviously you need to be able to show them what to do and test things out. So I think all of that was my staples and my clearance stuff. And then I got, for every £45 you spend, you can choose a free gift from the Saleabration brochure, which I haven't got one of. I should have got one in this order, shouldn't I? I haven't got one. Didn't get one in there, did I? I've got one online. I should probably get one in my next order. Anyway, yeah. So the free gifts then, I'll show you what I got. But first of all, I did buy this out of the new catalogue, which I just loved. And it's the Dog Punch and the Happy Tales stamp set. We've got a dog set, but it's like a cartoony dog, and this is more like a real life dog. I've got Shih Tzu, so it's not like mine, but it's still a dog, whatever. And it's a nice stamp set. It's got quite a few stamps in it. Friends Forever, So Sorry for Your Loss. A best friend leaves a paw print in your heart. Keep calm and wag on. I mean, so sorry for your loss can be for the loss of a pet. I mean, people who don't own pets don't get it, but the thought of one of my dogs passing away is as bad as one of my children. It's, you know, they're part of my family. So, you know, sending a card when someone loses a pet would be a nice thing to do. Just for you, there's a little 2-step here, which is a kennel, 2-step hearts, little paws. I've been saying we needed a paw print for ages. And then you've got the dog, and then you've got spots to put on it if you want to make it a Labrador or whatever, give it some colour. It doesn't have to be black and white, you can use brown or whatever. And then there's the punch. The punch punches out the heart and it punches out a little dog shape. So I just couldn't resist that one. I had to have it. I resisted the cat one because I'm not a cat person. But and I should be ready because I'm a Leo, but I'm definitely a dog person. So that was what I got. And then for my freebies then, I got this. How cute is this? It's called So Hoppy Together, and it's a frog stamp set. It's got a lovely butterfly, like animated butterfly, lovely little bees flying about. Oh, are they bees or flies? Probably flies if it's a frog, aren't they? And it says, hey, hoppy for you. You can do anything. There's a little frog prince crown. That one looks quite geeky, doesn't it? Then there's that one sat down, cute, and that one riding a unicycle. And they are true to size of the images on the front. I thought these were tiny, but they're great for tags and stuff. And then I got, this is another Saleabration freebie. So if you spend £45, you can get this. When I first saw this, I thought, wow, I've got to have those. They're gorgeous ribbons, but I thought that you got a spool of ribbon per Saleabration, but you don't. You get the whole set per Saleabration. So if you spend 45 quid, you get all of these free as like a grouped item, and they're just gorgeous. And they come in 5 colours, and it's an organdy ribbon. You've got balmy blue there. Let me see if I know what the colours are. You've got balmy blue. I think that's gorgeous grape. That's probably so saffron, I think. It doesn't say on them. And then there's that Calypso coral. And then lemon lime twist. I'm not sure. It will say in the Saleabration catalogue, which I don't have with me at the minute. But that is a fantastic freebie, I think. And again, it's one that you can use time and again. And then I also got this freebie pack, which I have in my other order. I've actually got the butterfly set and stamp. So, punch. So that'll be coming soon. I'm just going to try and open it so you can see it, and so I can see it, because I've only seen it on in a catalogue online. Demonstrators do get to see the products before they launch if you go to what's called on stage events, which are live events that happen before a new catalogue launch, and they'll get to see and take away some of the new products. Right, these are double-sided, and we'll see how I think there's 6 designs, I think, if I remember rightly. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think there's 6. 6 designs, 2 of each. You get 12 sheets, and this is free with a spend of £45 or more. That's cute. I mean, you're always going to be able to. I think that's a bit garish for me. You know me, if you know me, you know that I always say what I actually think, and I don't just say, oh, this is beautiful, if I don't like it, just because it's Stampin' Up, and that is garish for me. I look at that and I think, what am I ever going to do with that? However, you'll also know, if you follow me or have seen me before doing the review, that there was one in the, I can't remember what it was called now, there was a pack that came out early for the 2018 catalogue, and I thought that I turned the paper over and I nearly threw up. It was so ghastly. It just made me feel nauseous as soon as I saw it, and I determined that I was going to use it on something anyway, and it ended up being one of my favourite projects and one of my favourite papers. So don't be surprised if I'm sort of saying this is ghastly, and then you see me using it and wanting more of it and buying it on the clearance rack in a few months' time. The quality of this paper is really nice. It's kind of like if you've got the tea theme paper, it's a little bit thicker than that. Nice paper, great paper that. You see, now this one I can handle that one. I think it's these sort of, I'm not a bold colour person, and to me, even though they're not that bold, there's just too many colours happening for my liking. But then again, you see, you say that and then you think, they're all matching with the ribbons, aren't they? And if you put, I'm already starting to change my mind, so there you go, that's what I said I'm like. This is a much more delicate, it's easier on the eye for me. It's still busy, but it's easier on the eye, and I can definitely see where I'd use that. Then there's this lovely one, look at that. That's gorgeous. It's almost like one you can colour in yourself, but it's purple instead of black and white. So I wouldn't colour it in myself. It's very sort of tissue boxy feel to me. What does that remind you of? In fact, hang on, don't say anything. You can't see the papers from where you are. No. So I'm going to show you them and ask for your immediate reaction. This one, yeah, I can cope with that one. It's more sort of ditzy and self-stamped kind of feel to it. So yeah, I like that one. This one again, for me, it's a colour riot and it's hurting my eyes. But I'll probably find something to do with it. This one is appealing to me hugely. This one is appealing to me hugely in the same way that I love kind of French boudoir type, sort of vintage sort of French prints and stuff like that. And I love green. I find green a very calming colour. And I love the dandelion, so you can use it with dandelion wishes stamp set, which I haven't used enough in my life. But at the same time, I'm looking at that and all I can think of is toilet wallpaper. So I'm going to have to get the toilet wallpaper out of my mind. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to use it without thinking about toilets. So, yeah, so I'm going to just show my daughter these now. She can't see them from where she is. So obviously I've got them flat for the camera. So I'll see what her immediate impressions are. Remember, these are free though. They're freebies with a £45 spend. So this is the first one. They're all butterfly themed, by the way, Nana.
Okay.
So this is the first one.
Oh, I think I like the butterflies individually, but I don't think I'd buy anything and have them all on.
So you might sort of fussy cut them out or stamp them out and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, I use them as embellishments or as an
Yeah.
accent to something else.
There's definitely
There's
that.
a lot going on there.
Yeah, same sort of opinion. Then there's this one, which I sort of handled a bit better.
No, I don't like that at all.
She's not liking that at all.
It's not as initially bothersome as the first one, but like, nah, please don't put that on anything that you make me.
Too busy.
Yeah.
We do, I must say, we do have quite similar tastes in terms of us probably being mum and daughter. That's probably why. This one, I don't know if you can even see that on camera, but it is gorgeous. It's nice and...
That one's really pretty. So you know the book, A Secret Garden?
Yeah.
Or The Secret Garden, when you get like the old style ones, they're hardback, when you open they've got like a patterned paper on the inside.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like it would be a nice, I don't know what you call it, but like cover paper for the inside of a cover or something.
So it even might be nice as an envelope liner or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice.
I think on the outside it's quite busy, but it'd make a nice interior to something.
Yeah. Then what about this one?
Oh, I like this one. This one's cute.
Yeah. It sort of looks self-stamped, doesn't it? It looks like you've gone crazy with the stamper and...
Yeah, there's colour there that you could like extrapolate into something else and that you can pull out, but like as itself it's a nice, there's a lot going on, but it's not like
yeah. This one?
Oh dear. I think I'd like it if there were fewer colours in the butterfly. Like it's a lot again.
I love the background, the variation in the background, like the ombre effect, the blending in the background. But then again, you see, for some people, this would be absolute heaven. They would hate the muted shades.
I find a lot with your DSPs that when you flip them over to like glue them onto whatever, I'm like, why aren't you using that side? That side's so much pretty. Like I like the more geometric and the sort of
we haven't
simpler.
looked at the other side of these yet, so we'll be doing that in a minute. And what about this one?
I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
Which is unusual for me because I'm not usually a flowery person. Like flora is not my thing.
It doesn't remind you of toilet wallpaper.
No.
Right, so we'll have a look at the other sides now. This one,
I
the
like
black
that.
and white butterfly.
Which is that not the same paper as the one that I just, you know, the new one? It's the same one that I did.
Yeah, it's the same as this one, but it's just black and white.
Yeah, I like that one.
That's cute. It's funny how much you can like it with a different colour. This one?
I mean, it's black and white straight. You can't go wrong with it. Like,
yeah. This is great for sort of like a matte and layering.
oh no.
You don't like that one?
No.
Really?
No, there's an awful lot going on there.
Oh yeah.
I'd want to colour it in as well.
It's making me feel like I'm going to fall off my chair.
You'd like to make
You can colour it in.
Yeah, but you can't. Like, no, it would stress me out.
But that was the one I think where you like the other side, you see.
Yeah.
Both of us love the other side of that one.
I can see potential for that because it would bother my brain.
That?
I like that. I think you could do some really nice like embossing on that or add some glitter to it and make it not like, maybe not glitter but some shimmer to it. I think you can make that really like...
You're right there. If you were to add like Wink Stella toward, which is like a really...
Like add a what now?
A Wink Stella's like a pen and it's like a really fine glitter. So it just adds like a touch of sparkle without being like chunks of glitter in your face.
That would be a good paper to make something that needs like a little bit more than just a generic but isn't in your face.
Or if you were really careful with a glittery Mod Podge, you could do that.
Yeah, I like that paper. That's good.
That one, which is just a black and white polka dot. I mean, you can see what's going on with this paper, can't you? It's like hugely coloured on one side and not coloured at all on the other side, which gives you those options, you see. So I know for a fact that I might find it difficult to use that, but I'm never going to find it difficult to use that. I'm going to be able to use that every day of the week, you know. So that's one nice thing about double-sided.
Do you feel differently about any of them when they're pattern side against the plainer sides? If that makes sense. Like when it's that way around, do you feel any differently about any of them? You're like, oh, actually, no, that could... Because you use edgings and the backgrounds to mute colours down or to pull them out. So you're muting it down if you feel...
Yeah, I'm already thinking with this one, if I was to have the... I forgot what colour that is, but if I was to have that paper behind it, I think it'd already start to feel better.
Because I think the problem I'm having with a lot of the coloured ones is that there is so much colour going on. And I'm very much like...
I mean, once you put it against a colour...
It suddenly doesn't look as...
sort of starts to pull out the... I think this is... I don't want to say what colour it is because I'm usually wrong. But that already starts to pull out the same colour in the butterfly for me. And it mutes down the green and the blue. So, yeah, you're right. That's a really good point you've made, actually, that even if you look at something and think I'm not too keen on that, once you start putting it against other papers, and this is why it's good to watch demonstrators, because they'll show you how something can work with other things, and that's what we do as demonstrators. That's why we share, you know, Stampin' Up, love it, live it, share it is the motto, and we share what we do with each other to inspire each other, and that does happen. I've seen tons of stuff and I've thought that is horrible, I would never use that in a million years, and then I've seen another demonstrator use it and it's been in my basket because I've thought, wow, that looks amazing. And so yeah, it's always a good idea to have a look, and that's why demonstrators get these products early, is because it's so that they can show them to potential customers and give them ideas on how to use them. So yeah, so that's me done. I do just need to find out where I got this from. I'm pretty sure that this is from last year's main catalogue or one of the season's catalogues, and that it is on the clearance rack. So there are some absolute bargains in there, because the ribbons I bought off the clearance rack were a couple of quid each, and I've got my staples. It's quite a mixed bag unboxing that one, because I've got clearance rack, I've got Saleabration, I've got staples, paper packs. So it's quite a nice little mixture of products to show you, really. Quite a good idea for a starter kit if you're thinking of becoming a demo. If you want to become a demo, you know, you can sign up under me if you want to, or under any other demonstrator, and you get a kit worth £130 for £99. And you can choose any products you like to put in that kit. It's not like some places where you get a set kit of stuff to start you off. You choose what you want, and I think I might do another video actually of what I'd recommend to put in your kit, because I think the last one I did, I wasn't as experienced as I am now with the product. So not that you'd know I was, because I still don't know what anything's called. But yeah, definitely something like this would make your money go further. So and like I said, people can't necessarily buy retired stuff, but some of your customers or potential customers will have retired stuff that they want to use. So it's not an unwise investment to get a couple of clearance rack stuff, but definitely think about, when you're starting out as a demonstrator, these paper packs rather than just tons of one colour. I was buying packs of one colour and trying to build my collection, and I never thought I could just buy these packs that have got selections, and you can build your collection much quicker that way. A couple of clearance bits, a couple of staples, you know, cash in on your Saleabration goods as well, because you can start doing that straight away, and Saleabration will run from the 3rd of July right through to the 31st of March. So yeah, I've got another order come in, like I said, not tomorrow because it's New Year's Day, it'll be probably the day after, and I'll be able to show you some more Saleabration goodies in that one, because I think I got more or less the rest of the Saleabration offering in that. There's a couple of stamp sets in Saleabration I don't really like, I'm not that keen on, but like I said, the paper's lovely, this Hoppy Together is lovely, the stamp set I've got coming is lovely, and I've got some dies coming which are gorgeous. So yeah, anyway, that's me done. I hope that was useful, not only as an unboxing, but also that little bit of a Q&A that we had going on with my daughter. It was quite interesting and it was quite unplanned, so yeah, it's always nice when something like that happens. Okay, so I'll be back later in the week with the second part of this, and I'll obviously be back soon actually showing you how to make some stuff. Okay, take care, bye bye.